Have you ever wondered what's really happening behind the Vatican walls? Today, we're going to explore something that's been weighing on the hearts of many faithful Christians around the world. Pope Francis has been one of the most discussed religious leaders of our time. But what if I told you that much of what you know about his legacy might be incomplete? My friends, today we're diving deep into 5 things the media won't tell you about Pope Francis's legacy, revelations that might change how you view the leadership of the modern Catholic Church. Whether you're Catholic or not, these insights affect all Christians who care about the future of faith in our increasingly secular world. Stay with me, what I'm about to share might surprise you. What the mainstream media rarely discusses is how Pope Francis fundamentally shifted Catholic priorities with his 2015 encyclical Laudato Si. This wasn't just another church document, it was revolutionary. For the first time, a pope declared environmental stewardship as a core Christian duty. But why isn't this emphasized more? Could it be because his teachings challenge powerful corporate interests? When Francis said the earth, our home, is beginning to look more and more like an immense pile of filth, he wasn't just making a statement, he was calling Christians to action in a way no pope before him ever had. His environmental advocacy wasn't just political, it was deeply rooted in Scripture. Remember Genesis, where God commanded Adam to tend and keep the garden? Francis reminded us that caring for creation is actually one of our oldest divine mandates. But here's what's truly fascinating. While the media portrayed this as a liberal position, Francis was actually returning to ancient Christian teachings that preceded our modern political divisions. Now, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. Have you noticed how the media either portrays Pope Francis as a progressive reformer or a disappointment who hasn't changed enough? The truth is far more nuanced, and it reveals something crucial about his leadership. Francis has maintained traditional Catholic positions on many core issues while changing the tone dramatically. This isn't inconsistency, it's a deliberate pastoral approach. When he said, "Who am I to judge?" regarding gay individuals, he wasn't changing church doctrine, he was emphasizing Christ's command against judgment while still upholding Catholic teaching on marriage. What's remarkable is how Francis has maintained this balance while walking an incredibly thin line. And this approach has actually brought many people back to the faith who felt alienated. The question we should be asking isn't, is he liberal or conservative? But rather, is he helping people encounter Christ's love? That's the true measure of his legacy that transcends our political categories. Let me share something that should have made bigger headlines but somehow didn't receive the attention it deserved. Pope Francis has waged an internal battle against corruption within the Vatican that's been more extensive than any pope in modern history. The media might mention Vatican bank reforms occasionally, but they've missed the true significance. When Francis ordered a comprehensive audit of Vatican finances, he wasn't just doing accounting. He was challenging centuries-old systems of privilege and secrecy. His insistence on transparency has made him powerful enemies within the church hierarchy. In 2020, he dismissed Cardinal Angelo Becciu over financial improprieties, the first time in modern history a cardinal lost his rights and privileges this way. This wasn't just administrative action, this was spiritual leadership reclaiming the church's mission from those who had lost their way. And friends, this matters deeply to all Christians. When corruption undermines the church's moral authority, it affects our ability to share Christ's message in a skeptical world. Something remarkable has happened during Francis's papacy that deserves more attention: his unprecedented outreach to other faiths, especially Islam. When Pope Francis met with Grand Imam Ahmad al-Tayyib and signed the document on human fraternity, it wasn't just diplomatic nicety. This was the culmination of a vision Francis has pursued since the beginning of his papacy. But here's what's truly amazing: while pursuing interfaith harmony, Francis hasn't compromised on Christian truth claims. Instead, he's demonstrated that we can affirm our faith while respecting others. Think about his historic visit to Iraq in 2021, the first papal visit to the birthplace of Abraham. Standing in UR, he called Christians, Muslims, and Jews to remember their common spiritual ancestor. The media often reduces this to political posturing, but they miss the profound theological significance. Francis is putting into practice Jesus's command to be peacemakers in a world desperate for reconciliation. The final point might be the most challenging for us in America, Canada, and the UK to truly hear. Pope Francis has consistently challenged Western materialism and consumer culture in ways that make many of us uncomfortable. And perhaps that's why this aspect of his teaching receives less attention. When Francis says we have created new idols, the worship of the ancient golden calf has returned in a new and ruthless guise in the idolatry of money, he's speaking prophetically to our culture. His critique isn't just economic, it's deeply spiritual. He's asking us whether our pursuit of comfort and wealth has replaced our pursuit of God. This message resonates deeply with Christians in the global South but often falls on deaf ears in our wealthy nations. Could it be that we've become so comfortable that we can't hear this essential Christian message? Francis calls us back to a simpler faith, one focused less on political power and wealth and more on serving the poor as Jesus commanded. My friends, Pope Francis's legacy isn't easily categorized because it transcends our modern divisions. He's called us back to ancient Christian truths while applying them to contemporary challenges. Whether you agree with him on every point or not, his papacy has forced us to confront essential questions about what it means to follow Christ in today's world. What will you take from Francis's example? How might his challenges to environmental destruction, corruption, religious division, and materialism reshape your own faith journey? I invite you to reflect on these questions, share your thoughts in the comments below, and join me on this spiritual journey. If this video touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear this message. Until next time, may God bless you and keep you always in His love.